Alright guys, let's get into this Pharaoh Servant booster opening. This is the fourth set ever to release in the TCG. Moving on to our awesome Metal Raiders, or not Metal Raiders, Invasion of Chaos after this set. And we're honestly, it doesn't really matter what we're looking for in this set. But Metal Raiders is probably the one of, if not the greatest set to release in the TCG. But let's move on to this Pharaonic Guardians, or Pharaoh Servant rather, booster set, and see what we can pull in this. I don't remember what comes in this set, but let's see what we can pull, and hopefully it's really awesome, and just really cool blast of nostalgia here. Kicking things off, we have the right side, this booster pack. We've got, let's see, Minor Goblin Official, Darkfire Soldier number 2, Ground Collapse, Time Seal, Vampire Baby, Infinite Dismissal, Earthshaker, Oni Tank T-34, and Light of Intervention for our first pack. Next up, what do we got? We have 7 completed, Driving Snow, Attack and Receive, Dark Bat, Nobleman of Extermination. The Nobleman series is awesome. I love those cards. Even Crossout Designator, the most recent version of it. We've got Deep Sea Warrior, Daku Roy Yaba, The Eye of Truth, Solemn Wishes to round off that pack. Really awesome kicking off the Solemn archetype, even though I'm pretty sure it's just traps, but still really awesome to see even early on in Yu-Gi-Oh! This one increases your life points by 500 points each time you draw a card. And then we've got Gift of the Mystical Elf, DNA Surgery, Reign of Mercy, Type 0 Magic Crusher. And then we've got Mad Sword Beast. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. Sword Hunter, really awesome card that I used to love. At the end of the battle phase, if this card destroyed a monster or monsters by battle and sent it to the graveyard, this battle phase, equip all those monsters from the graveyard to this card as an equip spell, and gains, with this effect, gains 200 attack. So really awesome. I've got Numinous Healer, 4-star Ladybug of Doom, and Wing Weaver. Then next up, we have Girochin Kuwagata, Invitation to a Dark Sleep, Spikebot, World Suppression. Then we've got Michizure. When a monster is sent from field to graveyard, even during the damage step, target one monster on the field and destroy it. It's really awesome. Man, I'm just all over the place right now. Oh, and then we've got Limiter Removal, which is really awesome. Double the attack of all machine monsters you currently control until the end of this turn, and then during the end phase of this turn, destroy those monsters. Really awesome card for Cyber Dragons, which is a deck that I absolutely love. Island Turtle, Insect Imitation, and Kisaitai. Got Cold Wave, really cool card. Shadow of Eyes, Overdrive, Gust, Morphing Jar number 2, another flip monster. Shuffle all monsters on the field into the deck, then each player excavates cards from the top of their deck until they excavate the same number of monsters that they shuffled into their main deck, and then special summon all excavated level 4 or lower monsters face down defense position. Also send the remaining cards to the graveyard. So really awesome, neat flip monster in Morphing Jar number 2. Then we've got Earthshaker, Bubonic Vermin, really awesome card that you guys can see in my Beast deck profile. Skull Mariner, Respect Play, rounding off that pack. Let's keep going. We've got Enchanted Javelin, followed by Gradius, Ground Collapse, Twin-Headed Fire Dragon, Dimension Hole, which is an interesting spell card, Bombardment Beetle, Deep Sea Warrior again, Mr. Volcano, and then Light of Intervention. Then we've got Gradius once again, Solemn Lawbook, Attack and Receive, Dark Bat, Forced Requisition. Ooh, that is awesome! Jinzo. Jinzo is one of my favorite all-time cards, especially in the anime. Seeing Joey win that from Esperoba is really awesome. And then we've got Flame Champion, Numinous Healer, and then Skull Mariner rounding off that pack. Oh man, Holo Original Jinzo is awesome. It's just fantastic. Then we have DNA Surgery, Minor Goblin Official, World Suppression, Type 0 Magic Crusher, and then we've got the Shallow Grave. Each player targets one monster in their own graveyard, and each player special summons the target from their graveyard face down defense position. Interesting card. And then we've got Beast of Talwar. Nothing really special about this. Just a vanilla monster. But still pretty cool artwork. And we've got the All-Seeing White Tiger, Insect Imitation, Mr. Volcano rounding off that pack. Then we have another copy of 7 completed. Darkfire Soldier number 2, Souls of the Forgotten, Gust, another copy of Michizure, Island Turtle, Bombardment Beetle, Wingweaver, and Sky Scout. Formerly Harpy's brother, Harpy Lady brother, I believe. It's still really awesome to see. Then we have Cyber Falcon, Steel Ogre Grotto number 2, Inspection, Reign of Mercy, and then another Mad Sword Beast. And then we've got Backup Soldier. While there are 5 or more monsters in your graveyard, target up to 3 non-effect monsters with 1500 or less attack in your graveyard and add them to your hand. Insect Barrier, Sword Hunter, the Eye of Truth rounding off that pack. Last couple packs on this first side of the booster box, and then we're going to try and power through the second half here. We've got Solemn Lawbook, Gradius, Twin-Headed Fire Dragon, Overdrive, Gravity Bind, really awesome trap card that can still see play today. Level 4 or higher monsters cannot attack. Then we've got Mirror Riot, Flying Kamakari number 2, and then Solemn Wishes, as well as Bite Shoes. Another flip effect monster that changes the attack and defense position of one face-up monster on the field. This card must remain face-up. So pretty interesting. Last pack on the first half of this booster box. Got Enchanted Javelin, Three-Headed YuGiOh, Thousand Eyes Idol, Mystic Probe, and then we've got Appropriate. Activate only when your opponent draws a card or cards outside of either draw phase. After that, each time your opponent draws a card or cards outside of either draw phase, immediately draw 2 cards. So an interesting trap. Definitely very interesting in terms of having Max C in the format. I know it's not for the TCG, but very interesting. Then we've got Armored Glass, Bubonic Vermin, and then Kisaitai, and then Gamble rounding off the first half of this booster box. Let's get to the second half and see what else we can pull. Like I said, I'm honestly not sure what the chase cards are in this, but definitely Jinzo is one of them. We've got Darkfire Soldier number 2, DNA Surgery, Thousand Eyes Idol, Twin-Headed Fire Dragon, and we've got Hayabusa Knight. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase, which is really cool. Island Turtle, Sword Hunter, and then the Regulation of Tribe, as well as Mr. Volcano. Moving on, we have Driving Snow, Girochin Kuwagata, Dark Bat, Reign of Mercy, another Gravity Bind, still a really cool trap card, All-Seeing White Tiger, Bubonic Vermin, Darkfire Soldier number 1, and then 4-starred Ladybug of Doom. Then we have Invitation to a Dark Sleep, Three-Headed YuGiOh, Time Seal, World Suppression, the Shallow Grave, rather. Ooh, Garfield the Iron Knight, really awesome. I love the artwork and I love the rarities on this. This just really makes it look really cool. If either player equips an equip card to this card, destroy that equip card. Then we've got Flying Kamakiri number 2, Sky Scout, and then Metal Detector. Next up, we've got Mirror Goblin Official, or Minor Goblin Official, Cold Wave, Souls of the Forgotten, Inspection, and then Shift. When your opponent targets exactly one monster you control and no other cards for an attack, or with a spell or trap effect, target another monster you control that would be an appropriate target. That attack spell or trap now targets the new target. It's really cool. And then we've got Flame Champion, followed by Major Riot, and then the Regulation of Tribe, and Oni Tank T-34. And we got Cyber Falcon, Shadow of Eyes, Science Soldier, Thousand Eyes Idol, and then Magic Drain. When your opponent activates a spell card, they can discard one spell to negate this card's effect, otherwise negate the activation of their spell card, and if you do, destroy it. It's really awesome. And then we have Chain Destruction, really cool card, used by Yugi in the show to stop Seeker from being able to add Exodia to his hand. When a monster with 2,000 or less attack is summoned, target one of them and destroy all cards with that name in the controller's hand and main deck, which is really awesome. And then we've got Armored Glass, Infinite Dismissal, and Bite Shoes rounding off that pack. Next up, we have Darkfire Soldier number 2, followed by 7 completed, Burning Lamb, Mystic Probe, and then we've got Prohibition, which is a really cool spell card that lets you activate it by declaring one card name, and then cards with that name and their effects cannot be used. Cards already on the field are not affected, including face-down cards. And then we've got Insect Barrier, followed by All-Seeing White Tiger, and then Drill Bug, as well as Gamble to round off that pack. And then we have Three-Headed YuGiOh, Steel Ogre Grotto number 2, Spikebot, Time Seal, and then Nobleman of Extermination. Target one face down spell or trap card on the field, destroy that target, and if you do, banish it. Then, if it was a trap, each player reveals their main deck, then banishes all cards from it with that card's name. It's a really awesome card. Oh my gosh! Then we got Imperial Order, which negates all spell effects on the field, and then once per turn during each standby phase, you must pay 700 life points. This is not optional, or this card is destroyed. So, really awesome card that got banned recently in the TCG, as it does take away from one major mechanic of the game. Then we have Flame Champion, Respect Play, and Wing Weaver rounding off that pack. Moving on, guys, we've got about 4 packs left. Let's open this up and see what we can pull. We've got Enchanted Javelin, followed by 7 completed, Attack and Receive, Gust, Monster Recovery. Target one monster you control that is owned by you. If that monster is still on the field, shuffle it into your entire hand into the deck. Also, after that, draw cards equal to the number of cards you shuffled from your hand into the deck by this effect. You cannot activate this card if you have a card in your hand that is owned by your opponent. Then we've got another Numinous Healer, and then Flying Kamakari number 2, and then the Eye of Truth, and Oni Tank T34. Getting down to our last few packs here, guys. We've got 3 packs left after this. We've got Gradius, followed by Steel Ogre Grotto number 2, Ground Collapse, Type 0 Magic Crusher, Skull Invitation, which each time a card is sent to the graveyard, inflict 300 damage to its owner for each card sent. Then we've got Infinite Dismissal, Insect Imitation, Sky Scout, and Metal Detector. Last few packs, guys. We have Gift of the Mystical Elf, Solomon's Law Book, Overdrive, Souls of the Forgotten. We've got Forced Requisition. You can activate this card when you discard a card from your hand. After that, each time you discard a card from your hand, your opponent must also discard the same number of cards from his or her hand. This would actually probably really go well in Dark World, considering you discard a lot of cards. Then we've got Bombardment Beetle, Doku Royaba, Skull Mariner, and then Kisatai. Last 2 packs, guys. And let's see what we've got from this pack. 7 completed, DNA Surgery, Science Soldier, Inspection. And we've got Prohibition. Activate by declaring 1 card name. Cards with that name and their effects cannot be used, and cards on the field are not affected, including face-down cards. So really awesome. Major Riot, Insect Barrier, Solemn Wishes, and Darkfire Soldier number 1. Last and final pack of Pharaoh's Servant. So we have Invitation to a Dark Sleep, Burning Land, Mystic Probe, Light Force Sword. I think Light Force Sword was actually the card, not Chain Block or Chain Barrier. Which banishes a random card from your opponent's hand face down during your opponent's forced standby phase. After this card's activation, return that card to the hand. And then we have Grave Robber. Select 1 spell card from your opponent's graveyard, and you can use it, as your hand until the end of this turn. If you use it, you take 2,000 points of damage. It's very interesting. And then we've got Armored Glass, Earth Shaker, Bite Shoes, and Light of Intervention rounding off this pack. And rounding off this booster box, which I think has been really awesome. Jinzo, probably our best pull out of the set. But some really awesome, really cool, nostalgic cards for me, and some really neat cards that were used in the anime that were awesome to see used in the TCG that could probably still be used today, even if they are a little slow and easy to negate, but still really cool to see.